What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of the 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best entertainment-related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. This episode of the 8 Below Show, guys, is going to be specifically reviews based on movies and TV shows that I've been watching. I have been getting caught up on all the different movies and shows that I've been wanting to finish up and wrapping up, and so that I could bring out these reviews to you. So this episode of the show is going to be all about movie reviews and TV show reviews that I've been watching lately, and I want to break it down with each of you guys and hear what your thoughts are on each of them in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. The Many Saints of Newark is a prequel to The Sopranos, guys, and I've got to tell you that this was a movie I was very excited to see, because not only is John Gandolfini's son playing a younger version of himself as Tony Soprano, it's a really cool way to get us reintroduced into the Sopranos universe. I watched the show, guys, a while back, and absolutely loved The Sopranos. What a great show, man. One of my top 10 favorite shows of all time. I thought it was absolutely incredible. So when the movie got announced that this was going to be in the same realm of, being a Sopranos story, I got incredibly excited. And let me start by saying this, guys. The movie, to me, was underwhelming. Look, I enjoyed a lot of aspects of this movie, but there were a lot of things I didn't like either. So let's talk about that. Number one, some of the things I really liked, guys, I loved the acting here. I thought, John Gandolfini's son playing Tony Soprano. John Gandolfini's son, Michael Gandolfini, played Tony Soprano as a younger version. I thought he was great. I thought that Alessandro Nivola, who played as Dickie, was great. I thought that, John Bernthal, a number of these actors in this movie were fantastic. I thought that the set pieces were really good. It really felt like The Sopranos, as far as from, just the landscaping and all of that, very much so gave you that feel of The Sopranos. Now, obviously, guys, that was something that I really, kind of latched onto, but I really felt, guys, that the story was, the weak points of the story were that it really felt more about Dickie than it felt about, of course, Tony Soprano. And, so from the marketing perspective, they made this sound like this was kind of like the origin story of, who made Tony Soprano and all of those things. But at the same time, it really felt like the focal point was going to be Tony Soprano, but it was going to be about his rise to power, and that's not at all what this was about. This was about, Tony Soprano from a very early age being introduced and seeing things happening within the mafia, and then kind of just growing up with that as a normal lifestyle. But Dickie was, of course, the main character here in this story. I mean, it was all about really him and the things that were going on in his life. And of course, guys, Dickie, though, is a Maltesanti. That was, his last name. That was, and obviously, guys, when you're seeing like the different crime families and all of that, it really, I thought that they did a good job kind of deciphering between everyone. But the problem with that was it wasn't centered whatsoever around Tony Soprano, around his rise to power. Now, granted, I'm going based on this being a solo film. Not that there are plans to make a sequel. Now, if they're going to be making sequels to this, which, by the way, I really hope they do, or maybe a spin-off show, something of that nature would be absolutely awesome as well. But I really felt that from an acting perspective, I thought it was great. I thought some of these actors and actresses may very well get nominated at the Oscars. Number two, though, I just didn't feel as good about really the direction that they went in. The director, guys, was Alan Taylor, and I didn't really like where it was going. There were some really dull moments throughout, I would say, kind of the middle of the movie. Picks up a little bit at the end, but it still felt very much so as a story about Dick Maltesanti, and not about, our guy, Tony Soprano. So I thought the direction was not very good with this movie. But nonetheless, I'm very excited to see, are they going to continue this story moving forward? They kind of left the door open like, hey, this very well could continue. I would love to see them continue making movies in this universe up until we see, obviously, where the show picks up. I thought that would be something really cool. But nonetheless, guys, those are my thoughts on the Many Saints of Newark. This was a movie that you have to remember, me being a big fan of the show and going into this with the high expectation, because we're talking about The Sopranos, you're putting yourself on a pretty high pedestal, at least in my book, and I did not think that it was not quite there. But it was, I think for some of you, if you haven't watched the show ever, it may be a good introduction to kind of the story, the lore, the legacy of The Sopranos, and you may have some fun with it, but I felt like there were too many slow moments. It wasn't about Tony Soprano specifically, more about Dickie, and that kind of hurt it as well. Not a lot of action either in it, which normally The Sopranos isn't really all about action. It was more of like a drama, as being a crime drama. But I will give it this, guys. I'll give it that the acting was great, and some of the really immersing you into the world or bringing us back to Sopranos was fantastic as well. That being said, though, guys, I'm going to be giving it a 6 out of 10. 6, I feel that this was something that some of you may enjoy, some of you may not, depending on, obviously, a number of factors. All film is subjective, so what you think is great, I may think it's not that great, and what I think is not so great, you may think is awesome. But I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you think about the Many Saints of Newark? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's have a real conversation about it. And for more The Many Saints of Newark content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Venom Let There Be Carnage is the newest addition to Venom in this universe, guys, and I am really excited to talk about this one because Venom Let There Be Carnage, there were a number of things that I was concerned about going into this movie. Number one was Woody Harrelson playing as Carnage. I didn't know if that was the right fit, but after watching this movie, I gotta tell you, he really knocked it out of the park and actually really exceeded my expectations. Number two was, my concerns were, are they gonna take kind of the ridiculousness from the first movie and kind of go over the top here in this second movie? And obviously with that, guys, I felt like they really knocked this one out of the park. From the perspective of, sure, Venom and Tom Hardy's character Brock obviously having those, interesting exchanges in the first one. That continues here in the second one. I did not feel like it was over the top. I thought there was actually some pretty funny moments in this movie as well that I really enjoyed. But Venom 2, guys, or Venom Let There Be Carnage, was the sequel I wanted. Sure, it's no movie is without issues and without problems, or without having things about that you may not really appreciate or enjoy. That being said, though, I thought this was the perfect sequel to Venom. And Venom, guys, is one of those characters that is very close to my heart. One of my favorite characters. And when we talk about Spider-Man and all these different characters, Venom is one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. And Venom and Carnage being on the screen together is like a dream come true. As a kid, I always wanted to see Venom and Carnage together on the big screen, and we got that. So, Venom Let There Be Carnage, guys, from beginning to end, I enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I thought there was a lot of excitement. The action was great. I thought the acting was really spot on. The story itself, it went pretty well. There were areas, obviously, through the middle of the movie that were a little bit choppy, but I still thought that overall, the overall narrative and the legacy of what they're building off of here. By the way, guys, we are going to be getting into spoiler territory because I have to talk about the ending. Absolutely have to talk about it. But from the perspective of, this is what we've got, and from beginning to end, I love this movie. I love it. I thought it was fantastic. It wasn't perfect, guys. There were some choppy moments. There were certainly things about it that definitely they could have done a little bit better, but overall, I think they did a fantastic job. Now, let's get to the ending because, guys, as you know, when I do movie reviews, show reviews, I kind of am all over the place, and I just give you my overall thoughts on what I thought, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts about it in the comment section down below. I don't get into significant detail on certain, scenes and such, usually, but we got to talk about the ending of Venom Let There Be Carnage. So spoilers, warning, guys, if you haven't seen the movie and you want to see it, go check it out, then come back. That being said, the ending. Venom is in the same universe as Spider-Man, and they are merging these worlds. Obviously, Sony is coming with Marvel, and obviously this partnership is happening, which is absolutely awesome. So Venom, of course, guys, Brock gets put into their, Venom's like telling Brock about the symbiotes and the knowledge of the universes and things of that nature. There's this blinding light that ends up taking them into like this new universe. And on the television screen is J. Jonah Jameson talking about Spider-Man and Spider-Man's identity as none other than Peter Parker. And we see him in all of his glory. You see Peter Parker, you see Venom then lick the screen. Gets very, very excited, guys. It got me so excited because, wow, they are really going to put all of these worlds together. And Venom and Carnage, something that we've wanted to see them in that world, in that universe with Spider-Man, obviously hasn't happened because of Sony owning the rights to certain elements, the Marvel owning rights to certain elements. These are merging together, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I was so excited when I saw that scene because now, guys, this really starts to give you that emphasis on, okay, Avengers 5, on the future of Venom and Spider-Man as a whole with Spider-Man No Way Home. Could we see Venom in Spider-Man No Way Home? There's a lot of talk now that this could be something that's a real thing, and it gets me very, very excited. So at the end of the day, guys, Venom Let There Be Carnage did what I wanted it to do. It didn't go over and above, but I thought it did really good. The action, the set pieces, the CGI was perfect in my opinion. And then the ending was like that slam dunk, guys, which was awesome. Or I should say it was like a post-credit scene, was a slam dunk, and it gets me very excited about the future of Venom and the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And guys, I've got to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Certainly wasn't a perfect movie, but it was exactly what I wanted to see out of Venom Let There Be Carnage. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section down below. If you're thinking about seeing it, I would definitely go see it, guys, on the big screen. Absolutely awesome experience. Let me know, though, what did you guys think about it in the comment section down below. Let's have a real conversation about it. And for more Venom Let There Be Carnage content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. No Time to Die is the 25th in the James Bond series, and it is the last one with Daniel Craig playing as James Bond. And I gotta tell you guys, this was a movie that I went into with incredible high expectation. Similar to Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and similar to The Many Saints of Newark, I went into this with high expectation, and I mean, No Time to Die delivered for me, okay? Now, certainly, it had certain areas that I felt weren't as strong as others, like from the other, editions of the James Bond series. I thought that, just overall, guys, they did such a good job from, beginning to end on, creating this great, narrative from the beginning of like Casino Royale, which was, of course, Daniel Craig's first go around with James Bond, all the way to now where it was like the finale. It was so good. It was just so good. Daniel Craig is easily the greatest James Bond we've ever had, and I don't even think it's close. Pierce Brosnan was number one for me. Daniel Craig has surpassed him without a doubt. He actually surpassed him, really, I thought, after even Casino Royale, but certainly after Skyfall. But certain things, guys, throughout the course of the story, one of the characters I was not really bought into and didn't really like that much was Rami Malek's character. The main villain in the story, I just didn't really buy it. I don't know why. I wasn't really on board, and I think he's a great actor, but I just didn't really like him as the villain in this movie. That being said though, all of the action, the acting overall, minus him, I thought was fantastic. I thought that the set pieces were incredible. I thought this was a great ending to the Daniel Craig run, and it was kind of emotional too. It really was, because you just knew it was the end of an era. It was the end of Daniel Craig playing as James Bond, and now you wonder who's going to take the helm next. I felt that Daniel Craig really grounded the character from the very beginning with Casino Royale, and as he went through from Quantum of Solace, Spectre, Skyfall, just to now with No Time to Die, I thought he did a fantastic job. I love him. I've bought into him as James Bond, and it's going to be hard to let him, to like see somebody else take the helm as James Bond. But I just thought that he really did a great service to this character and to this franchise. Absolutely incredible. That leads me to where I rank No Time to Die versus the other James Bond movies. It is certainly up there, guys, as one of the better James Bond movies. Now, my favorite of the James Bond movies overall is Casino Royale. It is the greatest James Bond movie, I believe, ever made. But shortly under that, second to that would definitely be Skyfall and No Time to Die. No Time to Die and Skyfall are like neck and neck for me under Casino Royale. I know a lot of folks were saying that No Time to Die is like a Spectre 2. I thought it was more of a Skyfall 2 than a Spectre 2. That was just my take on it. I loved it, though. I loved it. I just thought that it was kind of like it kind of closed off all of the gaps, all of those narratives around Daniel Craig's James Bond. And I felt like it was a very good conclusion to that. Not quite as good as Casino Royale. Number one, because of the villain. Mads Mikkelsen did an incredible job with Casino Royale. Rami Malek, I did not like quite as much. But overall, guys, I just thought it was fantastic. It was just an incredible conclusion to Daniel Craig's James Bond at the end of the day. I can't say enough about it that I thought was so good. I definitely recommend seeing it. If you like the other James Bond movies and you like Daniel Craig's James Bond, this is one you can't miss. What did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more No Time to Die content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Squid Game is a new show from Netflix, guys, that is one that I definitely wanted to talk about as far as season 1 is concerned, and lots of people are talking about it, and I wanted to certainly give you guys my thoughts in the form of a review of this show up to this point in time. So let's talk about it. So guys, Squid Game is a South Korean survival drama television show that obviously is on Netflix, and lots of people are talking about it. And, the thing about this show to me was that even though this show is really cool and the concept is awesome, I really want to talk about international movies being made and how they're kind of dubbing it with, English, subtitles, and kind of, you hear the voiceover over the character that's speaking, but obviously they're speaking Korean or a different language. And I want to talk about that for a moment because it really hurts the experience in my opinion. And there's a number of shows that are starting to do this now with Netflix. Now, Squid Game is very popular, obviously, over in South Korea and such, but it really has actually hurt the experience to me when they're doing this with certain shows. I'll give you another example. Dark was a show that I was really interested in watching on Netflix. Had no idea that it was like an international film that was dubbed with, the English subtitles and things of that nature. Then you click on it and you start watching it, and it really hurts the experience in my opinion when you see the character talking, but they're obviously speaking another language and they're kind of dubbing it with like the English subtitles, and then there's an English voiceover going over top of it. It really hurts the experience for me. It actually takes me out of the experience. That being said, and that out there, Squid Game was awesome. I mean, this show would probably be, as far as like a continuation at some point or another, would be on my most anticipated list had it not had that, like, the dubbed, English and all of that versus like the Korean and such. I really love this concept. The concept of the show is awesome. So if you want to go into a show, guys, and you're okay with watching it where it's like dubbed with the subtitles and you have like an English voiceover that's going over the words that people are saying, obviously they're speaking another language, then this would be for you and you would absolutely love this show. I think that if they would have made this one of those movies that was in English and I could like just watch it, and the mouth moving matches what's being said. I think for me personally, I would actually love this experience even more. But nonetheless, guys, I know it's becoming more and more popular, these international movies on Netflix and shows, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just, for me, it hurts that experience for sure. But overall, guys, I've got to give Squid Game a 7.5 out of 10. Nonetheless, even though we've got like, this show that has certain things about it that I didn't like so much, I love many more of the aspects that I didn't like of it. And so I think that you would be in good hands watching this show if you can get past the subtitles and things of that nature. It's one that is definitely one to remember for sure, and I love what they did with it, and I think that it sounds like they could very well continue this in the foreseeable future, and that would be something to definitely watch as well. So, like I said, a 7.5 out of 10. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on Squid Game Season 1. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Squid Game content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Lamb is the new movie by A24, obviously the company that is very notorious for making some very different style horror movies, like The Witch, and I mean the list goes on and on. A24 has really become a household name in the horror genre, similar like Blumhouse and other studios like that. But Lamb, guys, from just the trailers alone, very unnerving, unsettling, very odd at the same time. Going into this movie, I was pretty excited to see it just because of my love of horror movies. But when we got into it, this story is about a couple that are in Iceland, and they find themselves parenting a strange creature that actually begins to affect their relationship as the movie goes, and that's obviously a lamb. And it's very, very odd, to say the least. This is a very different type of movie, guys. Valdemir Johansson is the director of this. It's his feature-length directorial debut, so his very first movie as a feature film director. And look, it's very different. And I think there's going to be some people that really, really like it. And then there's going to be a lot of other people that don't like it at all. And for me, I'm a little bit tossed in between because there were elements of this that I really liked. Iceland, the filming was spectacular. The different, environments and the landscapes, and just beautifully shot, and, all of that. From a story perspective, it was very unsettling, which I like those types of movies that give you this very unsettling type of vibe. The Witch kind of did this. It Comes at Night did this. There's a number of movies that do that, and Lamb certainly did that, guys. Very unsettling, to say the least. And there are a number of moments in this movie where you start to wonder, like, where are they going here with this story? Where's it going? And it got very weird very quickly as the story progressed. But what I will tell you, without giving out any spoilers, that this is one that is going to be very divisive, I feel. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that really enjoy it. There's going to be a lot of people that really don't enjoy it at all. And it's going to create a lot of conversation, though, and get people talking. And I think that's exactly what A24 was trying to do. I think that's what Vladimir was trying to do, was try to get a lot of people talking about this movie. And, I mean, it's a standalone movie, guys. I don't think it's something that's going to get a sequel or anything, because we haven't seen a sequel to The Witch or It Comes at Night or a lot of these other movies that you would think would get sequels. Lamb seems to be another one that's just set to be its own thing, and it's an unnerving type of experience. The acting was great, guys. Across the board, I thought the acting was fantastic. The cinematography was fantastic. The set pieces, just overall was really well done. But I'm a little bit in between, guys, when it comes to this story. Certain things worked for me, other things did not work. But overall, it did create this very different type of movie. And I think that's to be recognized. It's very different, and I think that some people are going to really enjoy that. I'm going to get Lamb a 7 out of 10. What would you guys give it? What do you guys think of Lamb? Are you interested in seeing it? Have you seen it? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Lamb content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.